r/ask Reddit. What do you miss most from before the pandemic? Cozy little restaurants. I too miss going to coffee shops and working on my laptop. Something about being in coffee shops gives me the best inspirations for writing. Looking forward to things. I never really considered how many of my daily positive thoughts are about the things I'm excited for in the future until every one of those thoughts comes with the addendum, well, depending on COVID. True. For example, we always have a 3-day LAN party between Christmas and New Year's. We started this when we were 14 years old. I'm 35 now. We never missed a year so far. People got married. People moved. People had kids, but everyone always came back for that LAN party. 3 days with 20-year-old friends. Gaming. Drinking beer. Chatting and just having a good time. It's one of the things I always start looking forward to from October onwards. 95% certain this ducking pandemic will end our 21-year-old tradition, and that is just one of many things I can't look forward to anymore right now. There's an anime convention I've been going to every year for the full duration since 2007. It's my one thing a year that I never budge on. I almost was failed in choir in college because I said I wouldn't be at a concert. Note, I had told them day one of the course that I was unavailable those 3 days of November. It was cancelled this year. I am really glad the staff did the right thing, but it still hurts. As others have said, restaurants, traveling, family, and holiday traditions are all missed. But one thing that really gets me is spontaneity. On a day off I used to love to just leave the house, maybe for breakfast or lunch or whatever, and just see where the day took me. Maybe shopping, for a walk to take pictures, an early beer at the neighborhood bar, whatever. Now, every trip away from home is for a purpose and rigidly planned. While this describes it so well, I've been feeling this but couldn't put it into words. Thank you. I'm a sophomore in high school now, and last year was the year I got out my shell. I signed up for production theater and I'm a full-blown member of student council now. But when COVID hit, I haven't been able to do any of that stuff. I would love to just stay after school randomly and hang with friends. Or just go out. I hate that I've missed those opportunities. Just being able to go out without thinking about it. My office is just one small room with 4 people in it, so we've been home since March. Thankful I don't have to deal with that. Live music. This one is killing me on the inside. Especially as musicians. Former pro musician here. All of my friends still in the game are losing their minds. Like, literal, clear mental issues developing. Music is such a huge driving life force for people who get into it and love it. This is really scary to see. It's like telling a hobbyist you can't do that anymore. Or a career musician. Yep, you're probably not gonna have a job for a few years. Enjoy. Actual physical interaction. I miss this too. I haven't hugged my mom since March. I'm not even a physical touch kind of person, and the other night I was thinking to myself, wow, a hug sounds nice right now. Taking my time grocery shopping, getting the best deals, looking at ingredients, etc. Now it's like supermarket sweep with one-way arrows and mouth-breathing virus-infected obstacles. I have a newfound anxiety grocery shopping and I hate it. I didn't realize I was developing this until a few days ago. I was just going to grab a few extra ingredients quickly, but the store was packed full of people. I took 20 seconds trying to find my way around the crowd, then just turned back and left. I can't help but think even if vaccines get rolled out and it becomes safe to be in crowded spaces again, I'm going to feel uneasy about it for years. Will and motivation to live, I guess. I mean, all those lockdowns triggered mental states I didn't even know I could have. Same here. I thought I was done being so depressed. Over the past 5 years I've made a ton of progress, so it was shocking to learn I'm never going to be totally out of the woods with the depression stuff. I'm better now than I was a few months ago. But I'm humbled. You can do everything right and life will still surprise you. It's weird. I'm one of the lucky ones in the sense that I have a job that I can do from home. But in a lot of ways this self-quarantine makes me feel the same way I did the last time I was unemployed. So my left brain keeps trying to remind me that things aren't completely bad right now, but my right brain just wants to be depressed and curl up into a ball. I'm the opposite. For 14 years I've traveled for work. I was an independent contractor that made my own schedule with targeted deadlines to meet. When COVID hit and we were all grounded, suddenly I had a 8-5 work at home job with computer in my lap. I had some domestic issues happening at the time that I then couldn't even get a break from. Between that and the combination of no longer doing my job, I've really ended up in crisis mode. Hope or a feeling of progress, anything but going to work and then coming home to lay in my bed. I don't even get to leave the house for work. At the beginning it was great, now I can't stand my own house. I took my daughter to urgent care for an ear infection on the weekend. Strangely I felt good after, even though it wasn't a pleasant experience, because I finally got out of the damn house. Same, I basically go to work and spend the rest of my time buzzed, trying to find housework projects. I go grocery shopping once a week. That's about it as far as non-work social interaction. My mum is even worse. She works for a school. In the few weeks schools were shut down here, she painted half the house and installed a bunch of new light fixtures. I'm genuinely terrified for her mental health if schools close down again. Seeing movies in the theater. Sitting in the theater with a giant Coke and buttery popcorn. Oh man. We got Mr. Rockefeller over here, able to afford a drink and popcorn. Not knowing how many people in my community are a-holes. COVID is just a test run for a lot of bigger problems up ahead. I'm much more worried for our future as a species after how much of an embarrassing way this was handled by countries like the US. Really proud of my decision not to bring kids into this. I miss tons of things people have already mentioned in this thread, but for me the hardest thing is watching what this is doing to my son, who just turned 5. His school closed back in March, so he went from playing and seeing his kindergarten buddies every day to being stuck at home with 2 stressed out adults who were somehow trying to work from home for jobs that demanded more output, with less resources. While the economy was in free fall, he was excited to start playing soccer for the first time in the summer, which was cancelled. Normally we spent tons of time at the beach, but that never happened. He went from getting and giving hugs to a ton of people, he's got about a dozen honorary grandparents, to essentially relying solely on his 2 parents for all that emotional support, as many of our elderly friends are immunocompromised. His entire existence was thrown upside down, and he's young enough that this is starting to feel like the new normal for him. I'm an adult who's had a good 4 decades to enjoy a COVID-less world. Whatever I'm missing out on I'd gladly give up to provide some sense of normalcy for my son. My son just turned 8, and for the first time in his life had a party no one could attend. Just his dad and I were there. He's really down and I don't know how to make this better for him. Sometimes he just cries at night with anxiety that I'm going to die. I have asthma. This is super hard on kids. I'd give you an award if I had any to give. I feel you. My 6-year-old daughter is in a very similar position. It hurts. She's a social butterfly and just wants to be around other kids. For a while, she could see her cousins. Now, with cases spiking and cousins' mom undergoing chemo, she can't even see them. Hang in there. Here's hoping that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Having a job with a stable flow of income and benefits. I was going to say earning a paycheck, but keep our fingers crossed for me tomorrow, you guys. In the same boat, my friend. I wish you the best of luck. My mom used to go home and visit every other month, but working in healthcare makes it rough. Wear your masks so I can see my duck-eyeing mom. Meeting up with friends every other day, and especially going to clubs or festivals. Just enjoying life basically. Exactly, texting just isn't the same, comma. Physical interaction and the concerts. Oh, the concerts. We go to Aftershock every year. Missing out in Metallica this year was such a bummer. I was upset with myself for not crowd surfing during Korn last year. Bucket list. Wonder if I'll get the chance before I die. You'll get a chance someday. I empathize. I was supposed to see the 20th anniversary of the sickness. It was postponed, but, of all things. Besides the big ones people mentioned, I miss small interactions with people in public. Everybody seems a bit on edge and in a hurry. People get uncomfortable if you get a bit too close on accident. People's humanity seems to have gotten lost in the midst of the pandemic. Yeah, it hurts. It just adds to the loneliness. Movies. Lipstick. LOL. It never occurred to me that wearing lipstick would be a complete waste of time these days. Cosmetics companies must really be feeling this. My birthday is in February. I picked a bad year to treat myself to expensive lipstick as a present from me to me. Dancing. I miss going to a bar and dancing my heart out with strangers. Cannot believe I had to scroll so far to find this. I miss dancing so much it's stupid. The thought of getting back out on a dance floor and just absolutely cutting loose to all of the great new bangers that have come out since COVID is one of the things that keeps me going. I miss being in a throng of people all dancing and singing their hearts out to a song that everyone knows. You just cannot get that same energy with a few friends in the backyard. You can try, but it's not the same. Goddamn, I miss it so much. Not being judged for sneezing. I get it, but I have allergies and it gets annoying. I have LPR, laryngopharyngeal reflux, so after I eat I clear my throat and cough, sometimes for hours, because stomach acid is burning my voice box. I get the glare of death if I go anywhere immediately after a meal. The glare sucks. I have perfected. It's hay fever buster. I work in theater, so I miss everything about doing a show pre-COVID. Everyone hanging out in the wings or being in the green room playing cards with the other actors between scenes. Being able to rehearse or perform without having to think about the new health safety regulations. It's exhausting. My daughter is in children's local theater and loved performing. I miss her happiness after doing a really good show. Buffets. Filling a plate with whatever and going back for another. Heaven. I kinda feel like buffets won't be as much of a thing after this. They've always been kinda gross. You don't go for finely prepared meals. You go for volume and variety. Actually choosing to make decisions or not. Now everything feels stuck and out of my control. Even my own life and what I can or can't do about it. My favorite whiskey brand that started only a year ago shut down in the first few months of COVID. How the hell does a whiskey brand fail in a pandemic? If they're not deemed an essential business during a lockdown, then there's no one to operate the distillery for months. Playgroups. Seriously, how do people parent toddlers in a vacuum? This shit sucks. It's not easy, my friend, but we're making it. Common sense and empathy. Did we ever really have those things, though? The illusions of common sense and empathy, though. Personally, I think both are overrated. Walking without a mask. Dating. My girlfriend broke up with me in mid-March. Horrible timing. Going through a breakup at the same time that the pandemic set in was brutal, but I'm at this weird stage now where I'm ready to get back to dating, but it's kinda like, what in the duck am I supposed to do now, lol. The naivete of not realizing how ignorant, selfish, and plain batshit crazy some of the people in my social circles actually are. So much this. Not even just my social circles, but realizing that such a large amount of people in my city and state are that way too. I used to not mind living where I live. Hell, my fiance and I were looking at buying a house here about a year ago. Now whatever money we can save is going towards moving the hell out of here. Extreme introvert here. What do I miss the most from before we weren't allowed to be in public? Being alone. Too many freaking neighbors. All the time. I just want some peace and quiet. I have earplugs and noise cancelling headphones. I sleep with them. Neighbors, please shut up. You'd think that being stuck at home was an introvert's dream. The problem is, everyone else is stuck at home with you, so you didn't actually really get to be alone. My hobbies require being around people in close contact, tabletop gaming and team sports. With my wife being high risk for COVID, I haven't been able to do any of those and I've hit a wall because of it. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.